Have you ever felt like life has forgotten you? Have you ever felt that you are behind in life? Perhaps you see your mates moving forward, you see people you went to school together doing great things. You see some of your mates you grew up together getting married, you see them acquiring things, and you see them, achieving, just doing well in life. And then it's as though yours is different. It's as though all the prayers you've been praying, all the hard work, the diligence you have been putting in is not commensurate to the result you are getting in your life. Let me ask you something. What if your delay is not actually a punishment? What if your delay is part of the rudiments and the tool that God is using to equip you for where He wants to bring you to? What if your delay is actually part of God's strategy to accomplish His mandate in your life? Let me tell you a quick story. A lady reached out to me recently, I think a couple of weeks ago, and then she began to lament on, you know, how that she's backward in life. She ought to have gained admission to the university, but it's as though I think she has written WAEC, that is the O level now. She has written it about 3 times, and then she has written JAMB about 3 or 4 times too. And then even her younger ones are already in school, and then she began to lament. If it's prayer, if it's study, she's putting in the hard work and all of that, but she's still not getting the admission. So when she reached out to me and then she started lamenting, we listen to people, we pay attention. And then when she finished sharing everything and all of that, this thing, I just told her, let me share my story with you. My story, how that God had to take me through a longer route in my academic journey, just because He wanted to equip me and He wanted to use me for a specific function in life, and which is still equipping me. Because the truth is that most times we think we can figure out everything by ourselves. We think there is a way that our life should go. There's an expectation we have about our life, forgetting the fact that God is the author of our life. He is the creator of our life. So He has the blueprint. Yes, at sometimes He can give us direction, He can give us clue into it, but the truth is that only God knows how our journey will go. But a lot of times, most of us, because of the fact that we see our mates going, comparison sets in. And the moment comparison sets in, that is when a lot of people begin to see a problem in their life or with their life. That is when they begin to believe that probably they are backwards in life. But the truth is that every delay that you experience is not orchestrated by the devil. It is not every delay you experience in your life's journey that is powered by demonic powers or village people. There are some that are part of the rudiments. Let's use David as a case study. When David was anointed, he did not just get to the throne at that point where he was anointed. It took him years before he got to the throne. All the periods whereby we be in the, he will be in the bush with the sheep, with the goats, and with the cattle that he was hearing. What he didn't understand that period was that God was equipping him for something better. Though it tarried, but it surely came to pass. How about Joseph? Someone that had a dream. He had a great vision. He dreamt that all the his brothers were bowing down to him and all of that. But when he began to live his life, it was as though nothing was going to happen, nothing compared to the revelation, to the vision. That is why a lot of us, we have seen certain visions about our life. There are prophecies, there are promises that have been spoken concerning our life. But if we compare those things we've seen to what we are seeing now in our life, it is not looking like it. And most times, a lot of us give up. Look at the journey of Joseph. From the point of where his brother lied that he was killed, he was thrown into a dry well, and then he was sold into slavery, and then he was sold as a slave to Potiphar's house, where he was serving Potiphar, to the point whereby even Potiphar's wife wanted to sleep with him. If you were the one, a lot of us would have given up. A lot of us would have backed off, because at that point we're like, this is not what God showed me. But what is happening in my life is not even looking like what God showed me. So a lot of us would have given up in life. A lot of us would have, but what happened? It eventually came. That is why the Bible says the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarries, it will surely come to pass. So this is a message for someone. You are watching me and it's as though you are backward in life. It's as though delay. What if that delay is a preparation for where God has prepared for you? Truth is that Jesus Christ fed the 5,000. Everybody was fed, but not everybody was served at the same time. There are some people that got their food earlier, there are people that got it late. But the constant factor is that at the end of it all, everybody was fed. And a lot of you that feel bad when you discover that maybe God is doing something for people, maybe the lives of people are transforming, people around you are doing well, they seem to be doing well better than you. Instead of you to get to a point of envy, jealous, and bitterness, why don't you rejoice with them? The Bible says, rejoice with they that rejoice. Because when God is doing something for your neighbor, what it says is that God is in the neighborhood, and then yours will surely come. So this is an encouragement for you. Your delay is not a curse. Your delay is not that you are not at advantage. Ask yourself the question, what if this delay is actually a preparation for where God is taking me to? And then I'll leave you with this question. What are you doing in your waiting period?